we'll jump into it.
Riders, say something funny.
That's asking too much of me. Sorry.
Come on, man, you're an entertainer. Come on, dance, monkey, dance.
Listen. I am not in a showgirl mood tonight, so.
Yeah.
Cause now we ain't rugrats, man. We all grown up.
Well, welcome, Mr. RidersDX.
Oh my gosh. Don't call me Mister, please.
Mr. RidersDX. How are you? How have you been? It has been ages since we've chatted.
I know. I was just telling you that, I don't think, because I think you were one of the very first people I ever collaborated with on a video in general. So it's been a few years since we've actually done anything together. And
I feel like
Titus, I don't know
we
if
have
we've
a
actually
little,
ever done anything
we have
together.
a little reunion.
Well, we do because
every new
originally
SpongeBob game. Every new SpongeBob game, we have a little reunion. Make some dumb video, disperse.
Riders.
Yeah.
When that's actually we collabed on that creature from the Krusty Krab video back in the day.
That unlocked the memory in my head now. I remember having a little episode of hysteria while recording that.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, good times.
I actually would love to see that become a real game. I think Purple Lamb could do it.
I think Purple Lamb kind of took, not that they intentionally took, but some of the ideas from that felt like it ended up in Cosmic Shake almost. So.
Yeah, I definitely saw that connection too. Not complaining.
Yeah.
Mr. RidersDX.
Yes.
Can I call you Mr.? Can I call you Mr. RidersDX?
Well, I mean, it is your podcast, so I guess I'm subject to whatever you guys decide to do. So,
Mr. Metal Duckles Rider.
I wanted to have a little chat. I thought so. Obviously, I want to kind of address this also for people who haven't watched any of our stuff, don't know the kind of stuff we've done in the past. But I wanted to chat. We're going to kind of lead up to modern day and some of the exciting stuff that's being announced now and that we're all involved in. But I wanted to kind of take things back a little bit and chat about your history on YouTube a little bit.
Oh boy, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a history teacher.
So
really.
When did you hop onto YouTube? When did you hop onto the train?
So if we're gonna get super technical, I was on YouTube as early as elementary or middle school. My very first iteration of a YouTube channel was not even a proper YouTube channel. I basically just re-uploaded Disney Channel music videos. So I uploaded videos from Ashley Tisdale and Hilary Duff, and maybe there was a Hannah Montana one there too. But that was
hell yeah.
That was my very first YouTube experience ever.
Nobody's perfect.
If we're gonna talk about RidersDX, the very first video was back in 2012 when I was in high school, and that was a sprite animation, and that really did age me just now. So it was
just a little bit.
It was Sonic versus SpongeBob, and I think it is one of the top things that still pop up when you search Sonic versus SpongeBob.
I was gonna say that sounds familiar. I've probably seen it at some point, but.
It is, to this date, still my most viewed video, which definitely is a very healthy thing, mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You peaked at a young age.
I mean, the thing is, that video was so, hilarious because it has way more dislikes than, likes, because, one, it is a horrible animation, and two, because I let SpongeBob win during the animation. So, Sonic fans, because Sonic is actually a big portion of my channel. Sonic fans are some of the easiest people to anger, and so
yes, yep.
Within Riders, there are two wolves: SpongeBob fan and Sonic fan. And on that day, he let the SpongeBob fan win.
I did let the SpongeBob fan win because, it's not every day that SpongeBob can win in that kind of setting. So I'm you know what? I know that, there's a bunch of other 10 or 12 or, 15-year-olds that are making animations about Sonic versus SpongeBob, and they're, letting Sonic win because that's, the most logical answer. And I'm I want to do something different. Let's give SpongeBob a bone. So I let SpongeBob become a cutthroat monster in that 3-minute animation. And it was a lot of fun, but making it was not fun. That took me 3 months to make, and
That's how I
it
feel
definitely
about all
taught
of
me.
my videos.
animation is not my area. No, thank you.
Was the whole like death battle stuff kind of? I'm speaking out of complete ignorance here, so please correct me. Was it brought on? I feel like a lot of that stuff, like the Sonic one, that had to have been brought on by the fact that Sonic was in Smash Bros. Brawl and all those cutscenes of him and Mario, and like that was huge when that first
I definitely think that like inspired it. But, you know, I'll tell you what, like, inspired me personally was this, like, really big animation series called Super Mario Bros. Z. And
oh, wow.
That was my crap,
it.
man. I love that.
That is an amazing series. And I just was like, I'm not really a fan of Dragon Ball Z, but I'm a fan of Dragon Ball Z's sound effects because of that series.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that it was Dragon Ball. I just knew Mario, Sonic, all that stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, that was like the very beginnings of RidersDX.
Early days. What type of YouTubers were you watching early days?
Oh gosh,
do you recall? Me and Sheriff the Great had a little connective moment over our conjoined love and early watching of Peanut Butter Gamer and like all those guys. But yeah, I was interested.
I'm trying to think because, you know, back when I was a kid, I don't know if I was really watching YouTubers, to be honest. I was more so watching things like Super Mario Bros. Z or like...
You were watching Fred? Fred Football?
I actually, like, I kind of got into, like, YouTubers in college. So that was a little closer to when I started, like, uploading, like, the videos, you know, for RidersDX now. So I was watching, like, in college, people like Scott the Waz, Fred 5107 was a big inspiration.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, who else was there? Was Icarus on during that time?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he definitely was. I'm trying to think if there was anyone else I was really into.
I tried with Kid Icarus. For some reason, my mental image is...
You know, the thing is, like, I love
Icarus.
his content, but, like, I can't watch it now because it is literally, like, sensory overload.
Yeah.
You know, his newest videos. And it's, like, it's a very impressive feat. And, like, I admire, you know, the time and effort it takes to make such a, like, stimulating video. But I'm, like, I just turned 30. I can't handle that stuff anymore. I need to wake up with a cup of coffee and like a book and, you know, just like ease into the day. Like that's just too chaotic for me now.
Yeah. For some reason, my mental image of him is him in like a singlet or like a bare, like lots of skin. And that's just my mental image of that man. And
I
I'm
also
just
have
like,
to be like in a certain mood for his humor. Like he has very goopy humor.
Like,
and I'm not always in the mood for that.
Yeah, it's interesting though. There was like an era of Peanut Butter Gamer as well. I've just gone back and started watching a little bit of his modern stuff because he's kind of calmed down a little bit. But there was an era where he was just like everything in your face, and I was like, I can't handle this.
No, I'm sorry. I'm like lame now, so I can't.
It's reasonable. So during college is when you were doing more YouTube stuff? Sorry, what were you saying, Mr.
I was just going to say you turn 30 and then you get lame. That's how it works.
Yeah,
I think that's
but I'm happily lame. I love being lame.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will talk about Genshin at some point here. We got to talk about Genshin at some point here. I watched that video of yours. We're going to talk about Genshin.
Oh, you watched that video?
I don't know what we're talking about.
We're going to talk about Genshin.
Okay.
So in college, was it in college that you were getting more into your kind of current era of YouTube video making?
So I realized that now I start YouTube from a very chaotic place, and it probably wasn't the healthiest way of doing it. So I started YouTube like in this like iteration of RidersDX when I was in the middle of pharmacy school, and I was so like depressed and overworked from like the pharmacy curriculum. It was like exam this week, lab test the next week, another exam the week afterwards, and it was just kind of to this point where I wanted like a release. I wanted like something else to do besides pharmacy, and I had this like really like bad pattern where I didn't let myself do anything fun, because if I was doing something fun, then that means I wasn't like studying, or I wasn't like doing like an extracurricular activity, or I wasn't pick up another job, you know, very like productive mindset. And
yeah.
so in my twisted like mind, what I basically convinced myself to do was like, oh, you know, I can let myself play video games if I record myself and post it online as like a let's play. So that is the chaotic way I decided to like start making YouTube videos. And so the first stuff I started doing was in like 2018, 2019. And I was making let's plays of Sonic Heroes and SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. So I started the Sonic versus SpongeBob thing from that point on. And I think those videos just came after the age of let's plays really like being big. So they just, no one really watched them. What really kind of got me
what year was
into-
this? Sorry, what year was this?
This was 2018.
You said like 2018.
Yeah, so this
2019.
was the era of streaming really taking over the YouTube like let's play
And-
space.
I never ever watched a streamer up to that point. Like I had no idea what really streaming was until like a year into YouTube, to be honest. And what really like shifted my mind was a new Sonic racing game got announced called Team Sonic Racing. And I was just genuinely like excited for it because I'd actually had been taking a break from Sonic for a while, you know. So I wasn't really a Sonic fan when he was coming out with games like Lost World, Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric, Sonic Forces. So this really not so like great era of
It was
Sonic.
a dark time.
Was that before Transformed? Sonic and All Stars Racing? Was that before?
I think it might have
Around
been
that
after
same
Transformed.
time. I don't know.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, I was just because I played Transformed. I was trying to remember if Sonic Team Racing was 2019. Transformed, it was earlier, wasn't that? That was 2012. Okay, that's a big time difference. Big time difference.
Yeah. So
Never mind,
I saw Team Sonic Racing got announced, and I was like genuinely excited for it. So I made a video, I think, talking about like what characters I wanted to see in the game, and that video got me like 1,000 views in a week, and that was more views than I'd ever seen besides my Sonic versus SpongeBob video. But so I was
The
like
albatross in the background, just this
the like the golden child that'll never be lived up to, and I was like, oh, this is something I think I should do more of. So I made more discussion videos, like what tracks that I want to see, videos updating on the game, and it eventually led to me getting like a review code for the game, and I was like, whoa, this is really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking at your old stuff right now, like a lot of kart racer stuff back then.
There actually was a lot of car races. So I think I started covering Nickelodeon car races shortly after Team Sonic Racing got announced. So there was just a lot of car racers coming out during that time. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was kind of like my first taste of like, you know, YouTube views and, you know, appeasing the algorithm and things like that.
Yeah. And so that connected fairly cleanly, and if that's 2019 that you're dealing with that other Sonic game, and then with the Nickelodeon ones, that leads up more or less to the dark sun, the eclipse moment of the entire SpongeBob fandom, which was the announcement of Bikini Bottom Rehydrated.
You see, what was like really nutty about that was, I think the reason I decided to like make a let's play of Battle Bikini Bottom when I first started it was because I saw like videos about people wanting like a remake or remaster of it. So I remember like watching all of Fred's videos and being like, man, it'd be so cool if that was an actual thing. You know, now I kind of want to play this game and like get a little nostalgic about it. I feel like I might have seen some of your videos too before I started like making them myself. And so I just like randomly made a video about 5 or 10 things I'd want to see in like a remaster for Battle for Bikini Bottom. And I remember like maybe a year or so later, they announced it. And I was like, what is this?
After it was announced, I started just looking for all the information I could get on it, and that's when I found both of you. So
Yeah, I was like very primed to like talk about that game intensely because, you know, I kind of got a little taste of what like success I got from doing that with like Team Sonic Racing and Nickelodeon Kart Racers. I think I also got, that was around the same time I got a lot of success talking about the Sonic movie in particular. That was like my first real like big hit.
Yeah.
And of course, I got that big hit by angering a lot of Sonic fans, but that's besides the point.
The two wolves.
And so
Yeah,
when
well, that's
Rehydrated
interesting because
got
you had kind of a strategy as well. Like you had your system down pat of what your videos looked like, and the kind of system you had for it. So you were really quite well primed for that. It's quite interesting.
I kind of do blame pharmacy for that because it just like it made my mind like this robot, and so I was like, okay, it's gotta have this title, it's gotta have this like qualities in a thumbnail, it's gotta have the structure in the video and stuff. I gotta like hit these points and stuff. So I don't know. I approached it very robotically.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good thumbnails, all things considered. I'm like looking through all of them. They're very
Some clean
clickbaity.
Clickbaity is definitely a good way to describe it.
So when that whole era of content stuff, most people watching this will probably remember that quite well. Like that was a big moment. When in that, just because we're moving into that stage, that time of year again to chat about it, but where did the Rehydrated relief come from in that time? Was that led by you? Was that led by someone else?
Yeah, who
Where'd that
did
come
start
from?
that?
I started it.
Okay.
So like it was something in the back of my mind that I thought was a really cool idea. But I definitely I wouldn't say it was a completely original idea. I saw that there were these big creators in the Sonic community that were doing like their own little like charity live stream event, and it was structured a lot the same way. So they had like these time slots that these like content creators would go on and stream like Sonic games to raise funds for a charity. And I was like, I think part of me was like a little like, oh, I wish I was a part of that. I wish I got to like participate in it and like help raise funds. But then I saw how like big SpongeBob Rehydrated was becoming, how much attention it was getting, like how much people were excited for it. And I think a little bit before I decided to like pull the trigger and like start doing it, I think it was around that time I actually started like talking to THQ Nordic, because essentially what happened was THQ Nordic announced that they were going to go to PAX East to showcase a bunch of games, and Rehydrated was one of those games. And this was during my year where I was doing like a residency in pharmacy, so I was even more like clutch for time than I was before. Like it was basically 60-hour work weeks, and you only get like this much like PTO. And I saw that they were doing that, and I was getting a lot of success from talking about the game, and I was like, I think I want to go. I think I'm gonna take the plane ticket, go to Boston, check out a convention, and see what I can get. Try to play the game and see what can happen from that.
I think that may have been the first video I ever watched from yours, because you were one of the first people to really kind of ask them more questions and stuff like that while you were there.
Yeah, and it was crazy because I saw all this stuff and no one was talking about it. There were like content creators that got to play the game and like see all this stuff that we'd not seen yet, and they weren't talking about it. So I was like,
yeah,
well, if you're not going to talk about it, then I'm going to talk about it. I didn't get to play it, but I'll talk about it. So
it's this weird thing with THQ Nordic where they try very hard to court anyone but their fan base. It's just like,
Seems like the same thing with Game Mill, with this last Nicktoons game.
It was, I think I must have looked really weird when I to them, because I literally I think there was one day during the convention where I just like stood there in front of the booth, just watching like the content creators play it, trying to get everything I could.
I remember you talking about that, yeah.
Yeah. I just stood there, and then like I think on the last day of the convention, I finally got the guts to go up to like the rep and be like, "Hi, I'm RidersDX. I like make content about Rehydrated. I'm really excited about it. Can we exchange contact info and collaborate?"
He starts reaching for his pepper spray. He's just like, "I know you. I've seen you these past few days."
He's talking to me. He's talking to me.
He's come over. He's coming.
It would have been deserved if that were to happen, but thankfully he was really nice and he was completely open to it. So he asked me to send him an email afterwards, and that eventually led me to actually being able to interview Martin Crouch. So that was such an insane opportunity. And I just remember, I think that's kind of when I decided to do Relief, because it was like, okay, so I'm actually getting the opportunity to interview this guy and like ask fans questions about the game, because I had no confidence that I would ask the right questions. I have never interviewed someone in my life. So
didn't you end up asking, I feel like I remember you releasing a video where you had reached out to Lyle Hall or Heavy Iron and asked them how they felt about a different company working on the remake?
Oh, I think that was one of the very first videos I put out when the game got announced.
Yeah.
Because I think I don't know if I reached out to them. I feel like it was either I did or someone else.
Okay,
but
maybe it was someone else. I don't know.
Basically, it wasn't like anything more than Heavy Iron like confirming that they had no involvement with the game.
Right, just surface level.
You know me, using clickbait to
Extrapolate.
Turn up the slop. I just remember that specifically because it was Lyle Hall that had specifically put the quote in.
Yeah, it was an exact quote from, I think that was the name. So it was just confirmed they had like no involvement in the remake, which I genuinely was a little disappointed about when I first heard about it, because, you know, it's hard to like let one of your childhood memories go to someone you don't know. Because like in this moment, we didn't know who Purple Lamp was. You know, they only made like one game. I think it was called The Guild 3. So
it was something weird.
We had nothing about them. So of course I was like a little disheartened that Heavy Iron wasn't like involved in it. But I mean, I think like
have we ever talked about like I don't know. I don't want to like jump forward in the conversation, but like, what are your overall feelings about Rehydrated all these years later?
I like have a lot of love and appreciation for what it is and what it did for me specifically. It's hard to like separate the game from like all the experiences I had with it.
Right.
Because
I understand that.
It was such a huge like game-changing moment for my channel. And I feel like I found so many like great friends and even a community through that game. I mean, we would not be here doing this if it wasn't for Rehydrated. So
I feel that way about like Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. It's like, obviously it's a flawed game, but I'm here now because of it. So.
I feel like there's a lot of like, if I was able to play God and like reorder the games that they did, I would have put Rehydrated last. You know, so I would have wanted to like do Cosmic Shake first, then Times of the Tide, and then Rehydrated, because then that just would have allowed Rehydrated to become this like fully polished, amazing game.
Right.
But I think that like for what it was, and especially like the time crunch they had, because when they announced Rehydrated, they didn't even start development of it. So that was like less than a year development.
That's right, because those original pictures were just concept art. That's right.
Yeah. And it was also made under COVID restrictions too.
That's right. Yeah.
So I have a lot of like,
I don't know.
I've always been
about the game. It's like not perfect. There's definitely a lot of issues with it. It runs like shit on the Switch, for instance. But
I've always been very rough on it. I'm actually getting a lot more appreciative of it because of how insanely good the iPhone port is.
He's just sitting here playing it while we talk.
Anytime I'm at a doctor's office, I whip this thing out. I don't scroll on Facebook or YouTube or anything because I want to be quiet. I just play Bikini on Rehydrate. 60 FPS. Actually, no, I think it might be 120 because it's a 120 hertz screen. More quality options than on PC. Like you can upgrade, like increase the shadow qualities and all that. I'm just like, this is great. This is great.
How do you play on that? Because like I've tried playing it on the phone. I just don't like how it feels with the fingers.
The controls are quite far to the side, so you actually don't like cover up the screen with your thumbs or anything like that. And for like 10 minutes at a time, it's fine. Any longer than that, I would start to like really hate it. But it's enough to get through an area of a level and get a spatula and then call it.
Yeah, 10 minutes for you is like 2 minutes for me. Like I just.
I just wondered about that because Chester and I have always been. I mean, I've always been pretty critical of the final product, and
It's not like there's so many things they could have done with it to make it better, but I can't in my heart like be too hard.
I mean, obviously the experience it brought us all together. We're here now because of it, and it's like that's.
And it's not like it's a terrible game.
If it hadn't been made, we wouldn't be getting the games we are getting now. I just wish it had been done a little bit better. One of the things that always really, I think we've talked about this before, but one of the biggest things that always hurt me about that was they kind of announced this promise of we're bringing back the cut content. And then by the end of it, it was like inside of this haphazard multiplayer mode that nobody played. But
that's what we should do for the our podcast, the event in the middle of the live stream thing. Is get everyone on and play the co-op mode in Rehydrated. For the first time ever, someone is playing the co-op mode.
Oh my god! So I was like, when that game came out and I got the code for it, I was trying to like record footage of like everything, and I roped in this medical resident at the hospital I was doing my residency at, and I asked her to play the co-op mode with me. And it was
SpongeBob
hilarious.
with me.
It was hilarious because I don't think she'd ever played a video game in her life. So she didn't know how to double jump, and she like attacked maybe like 1/10 of the enemies. So like that footage was very funny to watch afterwards. I didn't use too much of it, but that was my unique experience with the co-op.
It's like I remember trying to show my dad how to play Halo once. And it was just one of those moments as a kid where you kind of work out the first time. It's like, oh, this is actually a bit trickier than I think it is, moving the camera and the character at the same time, because he's just walking into a wall the entire time. And so just turn your head. He's like, how?
The opening of the Titans demo drove me nuts because I was trying to double jump and it wasn't letting me until they were like, this is how you double jump.
Oh yeah, I noticed that too. Like I couldn't like attack when I first got into it. I was like, that's interesting. But
so we're moving further into the kind of Rehydrated relief event. You're working with THQ Nordic quite closely, getting review copies for giveaways, all that type of stuff. Insane work. Like, how'd that happen? How'd you swindle that?
Honestly, like, I don't know. I feel like it was such a haze, that whole like period of time, because on top of doing that, I was also like finishing my own pharmacy residency, and I was getting ready to move out of my like rented apartment to go back home. So this was all like going on at the same time. I feel like my mind was just so like in a constant state of anxiety and motivation that I just was like, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. I don't
know how you didn't break. It sounds crazy.
I think I just believed that anything was like genuinely like possible, like during that moment in time.
Well, you're getting confirmation that it is. You're reaching out to THQ and they're like, hey, we'll support you for this live stream. You're reaching out, you're getting review copies for this. You're getting all that affirmation that working yourself to the bone is getting you results.
Yeah, it was like positive affirmation. I was putting in more work and I was getting results essentially. And I think what was really like fun about that moment in my life was it kind of felt like I was building something from the ground up and really seeing it like prosper and like do well. And it was cool because I remember like I met like Zach Pack, I met like Sheriff, I met you guys.
I was gonna ask, who was the first person like you kind of started recruiting people, I assume, to this event?
I mean, like I think like Chester, Zach Pack, Sheriff, like kind of was like the first like main group. I think Dave Ace was in there too.
We were the first people that like made that first announcement reaction videos, and then we were watching each other's videos and got in contact fairly early. I don't recall. I think I met Dave Ace at some stage in like some group chat. I don't think I met Dave personally.
Yeah,
before any of that.
I'd known Dave from like the Sonic side, so he like because he's primarily known for Sonic content. So, but he just happened to also be a big fan of Alpha Bikini Bottom, and so that was really cool to have him like kind of come along, because it's like, oh, there's someone from like the Sonic side that I know that's like also here, like sharing this experience with me, and yeah, it just kind of like spread, because once we like announced the relief, we started like reaching out to like other people. Like I think Shift somehow got involved at some point.
That was later,
Yeah.
I'm just laughing at myself because I've told this story at the beginning of our podcast, but I remember I had reached out to you to work on that creature video, not knowing you guys were working on this behind the scenes, and then you guys all announced it, and I was like, oh man, I want to be part of the group.
I kind of felt like bad for you like during that time, because I felt I was really rushing a project that I think like was really good.
I really wanted to. I mean, I was rushing myself. I've told Chester this, but I was up like for like 48 hours before trying to get
really
that done.
Because
it was.
I don't remember what I said like in that moment, but I hope I was like, don't.
No, you were always very accommodating for sure. I remember getting annoyed with other members, and you were like, "Oh no, man, it's fine." Like, you're always the mediator for sure. So
it was like a lot in the moment, and I think like after all that was like a very like long cool down period that I had to like kind of navigate throughout.
Burned out.
Yeah, well, can we talk about the post process? Because after Rehydrated, I'm not sure, you might need to elaborate for a little bit. You went through a series of kind of remodels, changes to the channel. You became the RidersDX show or something like that. You were utilizing your character a lot more. You changed a few times. I think you did a podcast at one stage. It went through a series of evolutions. I want to chat a little bit about that.
So, like, I feel like I was almost a little lost once Rehydrated was like done, because
I felt the same way.
I'm like, okay, I have built up all this momentum, you know, what's like the natural like next step? And I think that like as like awesome as that experience was, I don't really know if I was like developing a sense of what like I felt like I wanted my channel to be, you know. And during that process, it was more so like, I am Rehydrated, you know, I am this game. So I think that's kind of what my mind was.
I think all of us went through some form of, there was a big, gigantic shift of, oh, I can't just upload a video with this in the thumbnail and get 30,000 views anymore.
No.
There was a big, and like I remember I did a Let's Play series, and the first one gets like a few thousand views, and by the last one, it's getting like 200 views. And I remember noticing that when I was uploading, I was like, oh, that disappeared very quickly. But there was a seismic shift for all of us of like, oh, this is gone completely. There is no holding on to this anymore.
Mine was a little bit different, because it wasn't necessarily tied to that, but I was still going through it at the same time, like feeling lost, not knowing what my channel was at that point, because it was like the well ran dry, and so it's kind of the same idea, just a little bit different.
So like essentially, I think what happened for me was like I didn't really know what to do next, so I was looking towards like other creators and kind of seeing like what made them successful. And I think like people like Scott the Woz was like a good model for me in particular. I was just like, well, it's cool to see that these people like were able to like kind of curate their own fan base that like likes them for like their own content. And so I felt like I was like just trying to find that for myself. But the thing is like, I don't think I was like really ready to like actively search for like what I wanted to do, like genuinely wanted to do with this platform. And so if I like tried doing like the late night riders, I think was the first like reinvention I tried doing.
Late night riders, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what the name was until you said that.
Which I still think was a good name and like a cool idea.
I liked it. I think a lot of your fans were like, no.
Yeah.
You were RidersDX.
I was like, I was a little bummed out by that, honestly, because I think people like wanted to like almost frees me, you know. I'm
People
like,
get attached to, I mean, it's the same thing with every creator. I think Jacksepticeye has talked about it, where it's like, you don't miss the old version of me, you just miss the way you felt as a child. People get attached to this idea of someone or the content they're making in the moment, and people change.
yeah. And I think I just wasn't like privy to the fact I was changing, and that what like I was doing before wasn't like really fulfilling me the way like now. So it's like I can't like be here like making a video about every screenshot that comes out anymore. Like I just am not like motivated in that way anymore. It just doesn't, I'm not driven by like numbers and views the way I used to be. It just I think that what I learned from like that time after Rehydrated was that numbers come and go. It's sometimes they come back a little bit. Like I had this weird phase afterwards where I got a lot of views, like covering Multiverses in particular.
That was I remember that. Yeah, that was a hype thing. Everyone wanted to speculate about the next character and everything.
And it's like once that game came out, that hype like rocketed downwards.
And now the game is gone.
It's actually one of the most, it's even more heartbreaking for me in some ways than Rehydrated, because like Rehydrated was like still like a nice beloved like game, and like Multiverses just literally looks like a failure. Like there was so much potential and like really like great ideas about that game I was excited for, but that getting those views for like Multiverses, I remember just like not being as, you know, fulfilled by those numbers, compared to when I was like making videos on the Sonic movie and Rehydrated. Like I just was not like as like excited about it. You know, it was like, okay, I'm getting the success again, but it almost made me feel a little soulless, like making those videos.
Do you think the reason why you went through those redesigns was, and those eras, was that desire to find that success again, and when you didn't, the redesign, you felt like you needed to change, to change directions again and repurpose again and go in a whole new direction?
That pretty much is it. So I would redesign myself, and then it wouldn't get received well. And I have, looking back on my channel, this has happened to me like quite a few times now. And once I don't see the success I want, I kind of like go back to like a version of what was successful before. And, you know, after kind of like looking at my channel like a few times and kind of seeing like what I've done, it kind of made me realize that like, okay, let's try to like stop the cycle that keeps on happening and actually try to see like, is there a place for YouTube in my life at this point? You know, because it's I feel bad saying this sometimes, because I know a lot of people are like, YouTube is great, you know, like the idea of like being able to like make a living, even like doing what you love and such, like that's such a great idea for sure. But sometimes what you love changes, you know?
Right.
And I feel like what I love had changed at some point. And I think like I loved covering Rehydrated that way at the time. It was new for me. And I felt like I was able to like help build a really fun and nice community from that too. But you know, it's like afterwards, it doesn't, unless you like find ways to make it different and interesting, like it doesn't really invigorate you as much as it used to.
That's the hard thing. I feel like it's a tale as old as time. You know, like I've seen so many YouTubers go through that same thing. I mean, like look back at all the Minecraft YouTubers that were stuck doing that for so long, and it's like they feeling beholden to the audience you've cultivated off of this one thing, and it's like sometimes you don't want to do that one thing anymore. Sometimes you don't want to do Minecraft. Sometimes you don't want to do SpongeBob. I struggled with the same thing as far as like my videos go, because I haven't put out very many, obviously, but it's like I felt like if it wasn't SpongeBob, nobody was going to care. And that's largely been the case, but I came to accept that, basically. But, yeah, I just, there's Kingdom Hearts YouTubers that I watched vehemently for years, and one of them in particular, he always like would vanish and come back and vanish and come back.
Yeah.
And he just didn't know what he wanted to do because it was like the Kingdom Hearts well had run dry, and so he felt it kind of affects your mental health. Did you ever feel like it was really
100%
affecting your mental health at all?
It definitely had impacted my mental health, because I think that, you know, without like going too deep into it, you know, I grew up with like a very like fragile sense of myself. So, you know, I'd always been looking for like outside sources for validation, and that's why like the Rehydrated time was like, it felt so amazing to me, and why I felt like I was driven to do so much of that stuff.
You created this thing, you were the center of this big thing, and
And so, but then like once that went away, you know, it's like you're not getting that validation that way anymore.
Right.
And you know, those like reinventions and such that you guys talked about, there was kind of like my ways of like trying to find that validation again. And after like
what is happening?
I don't know. I'm not in the
I
room.
had pulled up my own channel in the background, and somehow a video started playing on my monitor.
I just love having myself on my. I should have myself playing on the back TV.
You know
What the
what?
hell am
I don't
doing?
know how that
I
happened.
should do that more often too myself. You know, sometimes I like listening to my voice. This is the
Yes,
thing about
I'm
like
just-
YouTube is like
I'm just so funny.
sometimes you just enjoy listening to yourself. You know, I feel like it's something a lot like some YouTubers won't admit, but
I will fully admit, I go back and rewatch some of my old videos sometimes, like when I'm falling asleep, like
yeah.
just kind of refresh myself and be like, how can I do this better in the future? And, you know,
I was
sometimes
like, if you
you
don't
like
like
the
it,
sound of
then,
your
like,
own voice.
what can you expect?
I'll check
anyone
back
else
to
to
old
like?
stuff. I'll check back to old stuff just to be like, oh, I said that. Ah, shit. I gotta delete.
watch, like,
TMNT fans don't deserve skin? I said that? What?
Oh my gosh.
Fucking hate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think I had I had an interesting phase of that because I had obviously like we all went through that SpongeBob phase, but then with Hogwarts Legacy when that came out, I just made a random video about that one day, and it got like 130,000 views.
I think I remember that because I remember
Yeah.
like thinking like, oh, maybe I should make a Hogwarts Legacy video. You know?
Yeah, and I made one or two, but I made the decision, and like they were getting 20,000 views or whatever. Like they were not, it's not crazy numbers, but like I could see that could be a point of validation. But I ran to just think after making the third video, I was just like, I don't care that much.
Yeah.
I don't care enough to make another video to get like that sense of approval or whatever. And I don't think it was particularly profound, but I think it's that chasing. It never it never works out. It never lasts enough to make the chase actually feel good. Unless you're surrounded by people. Like, I think that was the difference with Rehydrated is we were surrounded by other people. We were surrounded by friends, and we were surrounded by other people that were just excited as us. To do it on your own, I think, can be kind of just soul-crushing.
Yeah, because I don't know, you even see like a lot of big creators like talk about, you know, like, oh, my recent videos haven't been doing as well as my ones before that. And, you know, sometimes you just sit there as like a small creator being like, I would love those numbers, you know,
Yeah.
every day. But then you kind of think about the fact that like a lot of these bigger creators rely on this as like their actual income. And so they probably need to hit like a certain threshold to be able to sustain this as like a
To
full-time
sustain whatever I mean, they probably get used to living at a certain
job. Yeah.
class or whatever. I don't know, but
I
I
also
have
think
noticed that.
I remember most people will only remember it because of the like insane controversy that sparked from it. But when in praise of Shadows, made a video going after another horror
I
YouTuber
just
in the
rewatched.
space.
I literally I just rewatched that.
Yeah.
A couple days ago. So yeah,
He
yeah.
he made a video, and he's got a channel of like 1 or 2 million subscribers or something. Actually, I think it's close.
What is he up?
I
What
think
is he
it's
up
under?
to?
I think it's under 1 million. I think it's like 700,000, 800,000 something. But he made a video like where he was talking about, it, and it was like, I made less than $500 for like last month on the YouTube channel. And I'm just like, God help the rest of us.
Yeah.
Right. And then he just proceeded to
tank
attack
the
one
rest of
man.
his career, but that's all right. But yeah, so what I want to chat about as well is the kind of new era that you're in, YouTube-wise. That I wanted to chat about. Where do you feel now? Because you were mentioning before you were at a stage of just like, do I even bother continuing to do this? Like, is this still good for me? Where are you at now with that?
So if I have to be totally honest, it changes like every week. So, you know, a couple weeks ago, I was talking to one of my YouTube friends, and I was telling him, I don't think I enjoy YouTube anymore. Like, I don't think I want to do it anymore. And then he was kind of just saying, like, you know, try to make a video and see what happens. If you really don't like the process and you are very certain, then like, I support you, like, no matter what. And I was like, in my mind at that moment, I was like, I don't even think I need to do that. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't want to do YouTube. Then the next week comes, I'm like, oh, I kind of want to make a video on this, you know? So I think what I've come to decide is like, I have no idea. So I think I have no expectations for what YouTube is to bring at this point. If there's something that I want to do that feels good and I feel motivated to do it, then I'm going to do it. So, for instance, in the past like month, I've been going back and playing like old Hannah Montana games, and
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to plan some sort of video about that. And
Did they make Lizzie McGuire games?
yeah, they did. There's like
I'm
Game
sure
Boy
they
Advance
did.
Lizzie McGuire games.
I was looking at one of those Hannah Montana games recently because I'm doing another video about Avalanche Software, and they did one on the Wii or whatever, and it looks like a trip. But that was something I was gonna ask, is if you'd ever considered maybe doing something that was less like topical or news based, and like going back and doing like
a lot. I've considered
what
that
you're
a
saying.
lot because, you know, so much has changed about like social media and content, even from when I first started like uploading my Let's Plays to now. So that's only
It's
like
all
a
AI.
5-year span. And, you know, TikTok wasn't a thing back then, and now like TikTok is kind of the primary video platform now. And, you know, I am TikTok brain rotted, unfortunately. So it is something that I can't
Poor
help
bastard.
it. And but something I've watched a lot of content about, you know, outside of like our gaming like space, is that like a lot of people in the content creation like department in general are saying like a lot of successful creators now aren't being successful from like covering like the hot topics. I mean, there are creators that are being successful covering hot topics, but there's also a lot of success being seen from people that are curating their own like niche, like small fan bases. And, you know, those small fan bases, you know, spread word of mouth to like other people. And TikTok is like, the algorithm for TikTok is so interesting. It really creates like an echo chamber for every person that uses it. So what seems like the biggest thing in the world to one person, this person has never heard of. And so there is almost like this rejection of the monoculture now. And I feel like you ask a lot of like people that play video games now what like the biggest game of the year was, everyone's gonna have a different answer. And so that's why I feel like the Game Awards is such an interesting thing to try to watch now, because a lot of time I've not heard of the games that are not.
What would you say the biggest game of the year is? RidersDX.
Donkey Kong Banana.
Sonic Racing.
I would agree. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Sonic Cross Worlds. Never mind.
That's true. That's the thing, is your two niches came together into one beautiful child that I haven't played yet.
So like Donkey Kong Bonanza is genuinely what I think is the biggest game But I mean, Crossworlds is just that's been such a fun game for me.
I was
just because
I'm just here for like, oh, Claire Obscure, the best RPG in decades. Anything like nah, racing games, Donkey Kong,
SpongeBob and Sonic together at last.
Hatsune Miku.
Listen, like if they added Taylor Swift in there, it's over for me. My entire channel will just be dedicated to that game.
That was going to be my question at the beginning, because you said something about not wanting to be a showgirl. And I was going to be speaking of, as the resident Taylor Swift fan in the room, how did you feel about the Wood song?
You know what? I know people have all the hot takes in the world about that album, but I love it. I don't care. It's
the Wood song.
It's a lot of fun. It's not her most songwriting wise deepest album in the world, and there's definitely some questionable lyrics on that album. But I mean, part of me just loves even the questionable lyrics, because I'm like, this just sounds like the way millennials talk, and I am a hardcore millennial, so I love it personally, and I'm a creature of cringe too. So
I was born in the cringe.
I have to love it. She is my sister. She is my mother. She is my queen.
How do you feel about the Chiefs? No.
Okay, this is a funny thing I love telling like all my like real life friends, because Taylor Swift has become such a like monoculture. She's like one of the only monoculture things in our world now. But something I love telling like all like my work friends and stuff is that like not even Taylor Swift can get me to watch football.
I figured that was going to be your take. Yeah,
not even Taylor Swift can.
That's so good. Listen, Kendrick got me pretty close. I watched a fair bit of the Super Bowl just to watch Kendrick, but not the second the game went back on. Nah, done.
Yeah.
Thanks. I saw the field. That's as close as I got.
But I was just gonna go back to circle back around to you. You mentioned just I don't know what it's like on TikTok, but as far as like cultivating a niche, that's really what you have to do. If you look, because the topical stuff's great, but that's the problem with it is once
topic's gone.
Once SpongeBob Rehydrated releases, then what do? You have like once Sonic movie 5 comes out, what do you talk about? You're always looking for something new. Whereas like with my channel, I'm not nearly as big, but the audience that I've cultivated are pretty tight knit. Like they're the people that will always watch when I upload, because it's like once every 2 years or so.
Yeah, and that was also one of the rules and kind of only reasons we jumped into doing Bikini Bottom Inquirer as well. Was the whole idea of like both of us. Like for me, it was the whole thing. I was just like, there are times when I'm at work or something like that, I've got my headphones on, and I just really want to listen to something about Nickelodeon. There's no one talking about like a long format. But the big rule of it was like, we're not going to be bound by any one topic or any one like moment. This game is we're tied to this game, this movie, or anything like that. I just can't. This late in my YouTube career, I cannot be bothered to do that again.
Yeah.
So, that was one of the rules for that.
I was gonna say that like, because I watched some of your episodes and stuff, and this is kind of what I was talking about in terms of like, choosing like a niche topic and just kind of like honing in on that, because you guys are going to like form like this very like focused audience that's gonna love everything you put out, because you know what you want to do and you're delivering it. And so I thought that was like, just from like the few episodes I was able to like watch entirety of, I was like, yeah, they got some good secret sauce here. The formula is
well,
strong.
thank you.
We're trying. Speaking of which, channel membership. No.
join the channel membership. Join the Discord. Mr. Riders, just to pull a door back. That video was 8 months ago, I understand. Out of date. How much of Genshin did you play for that video? I swear, all the footage in that video was the first 20 minutes of the game. I was like, is this bastard lying to me? Is this bastard lying to me? It says he likes Genshin.
I did not record a single minute of footage for Genshin. So it's that was just like trailer footage or something. Like I just searched it on YouTube and put it in because I covered so many games in that video that I just was like, how do I practically like make this video without like exhausting myself recording footage for everything? So I just used a bunch of trailers for some of the videos. And but truth be told, I play Genshin every day. I get my dailies in.
Hell yeah, man!
My boyfriend is a huge Genshin fan. He was
because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I should comment, and I was like, I was almost going to message you. I was like, you sure though? Because you have to be level 16 to join a co-op world. That's like 10 hours of gameplay.
Oh yeah, I've probably invested like 500 hours at this point. You know, just like
hell yeah, man.
It's such an easy game to do that with because they come out with so much content like every couple of weeks. It's crazy.
They do.
You know, like the tales, the Chronicle Tales you can like just go to like now and like not cry and stuff. It's really cool to see how effectively they build the world. And I forget what the Wonderland, that's what it's called. My boyfriend is super excited for that. He's telling me like, oh, this is gonna be the next Roblox. And I'm like, I can't believe they're adding this into the game, as if the game needed it.
Yeah. What's your current? Sorry to continue on this route, but what is your current main party lineup?
All right, Mawika is my main character, like main DPS. Mawika, yeah. And then Silali also because she like drives up her elemental powers and stuff. Cloud Retainer.
Is Mavika fire?
Yeah, she's pyro.
Wait, you've got fucking Mavika?
Yeah, she was like, I remember like pulling for her and I got her like immediately.
Sorry, it just took me a second to I cannot believe you got I the hours I spent. I got Varessa. I'm happy with that. I got Varessa.
Nice.
I've got a water and electricity build. I've got Varessa, Milana, like a water and fire drop, and Mona still. I still use Mona, but yeah. Skippity toilet. Yeah.
Oh, if we're showing off, I did want to like just gloat and like just
lucky. I never got one.
I know. It was such a sweet gift from THQ Nordic.
Yeah. Sometimes I go onto eBay and I just look at the sets of those. What? They did one for Cosmic Shake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until recently.
Yeah, I mean like this is honestly like I love this more than like the 3 Rehydrated ones combined. Like this just looks so good.
I'm going onto eBay now.
I guess while he does that, how did you feel about Cosmic Shake?
$200 US.
I enjoy Cosmic Shake, but I think I need to replay it because you know, when I was like trying to think about how to talk about it, you know, with some of this Titans content, I realized that I actually don't remember a lot of the game.
I feel the same way. Like I don't know.
There's just something about the game that
you and I both have played that demo now. I don't think Chester has touched it.
I'm not doing it. I ain't doing it. I ain't looking at trailers. I ain't
like
playing no demo.
Anyway, so it's.
I was telling him I think it's significantly better in my opinion. I'm way more invested just in the first hour.
I do enjoy
the
demo a lot, but I don't know if I enjoy it that much more than Cosmic Shake. So I'm gonna make myself replay the game before the game.
Something about Cosmic Shake just didn't do it for me. I can admit it's a good game now. We've had this conversation before.
Why are you saying Chester?
He's upset about the economy.
No, on eBay, this one person has the SpongeBob Cosmic Shake statue. 20 of them. At the exact same price. The entire market in the US is flooded by this one guy that owns 20 of them. He has all of them listed in a row. It's just the same person over and over and over with the same statue of the same price.
That is crazy. Well, that's scalpers for you.
He's got all of them. Motherfucker. Sorry, yep.
So I assume we're pulling all the conversation back around to talk about like.
Sorry, yes.
I think like that Cosmic
the
Shake
title
is a really good game. Like I enjoy it. But yeah, I don't know. Like I was trying to think about it and like, did I still like the game? And like, I honestly like need to replay it because I don't remember a lot of the game. And I wonder if that's because I found it forgettable, which sounds like such a mean thing to say, but There's just
I
something.
felt I'm very conflicted about it. Less so than Rehydrated, but it's like I don't know. I'm excited for this new one for sure.
Titans is really good though. Like I really enjoy playing through it, and it feels very fluid to move around and like control it and such. And I think the setup is just more interesting than Cosmic
Yeah,
Shake.
I'm excited for that too.
I don't know if we talked about it, but Chester, there's a dodge roll. You can dodge roll now.
There was
Yeah.
a dodge roll in Cosmic Shake.
I don't remember a dodge roll in Cosmic Shake.
Yeah, there was one in Cosmic Shake. I'm pretty
Was
sure.
There was. We're
Okay,
going Elden
well,
Ring with it. I mean, I
feels
love
better.
Cosmic Shake. I've 100%ed it 3 times now. I will say my biggest issue with it is I get tired of the entirety of Bikini Bottom is destroyed and you have to jump through different worlds and all this type of stuff and go to different places. It's like I'm a mid-20s SpongeBob fan, okay? I like SpongeBob. SpongeBob as it is. I don't need every variation of every type of situation. I'm happy to just see Bikini Bottom. I'm happy
I'm
to just
banging
see these
the
things
door.
like that type of things.
We need a life simulation SpongeBob game. I want to create my own fish.
It exists on your phone.
I don't want it on my phone.
It sucks.
The AFK one or the
Yeah,
The
I don't
rebuilding
remember
Bikini
what it's
Bottom one.
called. But
I want to create my own fish. Her name is going to be Taylor Swiftfish, and she's going to live right next to Sandy, and they're going to become best friends. And she's going to eat at the Krusty Krab for lunch and go to the Mall of Pro afterwards. Like, I want that game.
I'm
and
surprised
turn-based
more.
RPG combat.
I don't know.
I'm
if
surprised
Turn-On
more
needs
licenses
that.
didn't like copy Sims.
I do miss that early 2000s PC genre where you would just
Yeah.
get the randomest side games on PC that were all just ripping off each other in different ways.
Diner
like that
Dash,
Spore
SpongeBob.
era of games where it's just like it's the So Angelica or whatever it is, where it's just like we're doing a Rugrats game that's also a fashion game. It's like
I don't remember
I miss that.
That's your area of expertise.
It is.
But
Anyway. I think that might
so-
be everything.
well, we've got to pull it back
finishing
around and be like,
questions?
so we're doing another one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that you said you're doing an announcement video for that.
Yeah, I think
that's
like
weird.
Zach Pack and I are cooking up a little something, and it should be out tomorrow, maybe, or
So I'm interested to ask.
Well, this podcast
maybe-
is coming out tomorrow, so same time. Maybe.
I'm interested to ask, just after talking about all that, and maybe you're like, maybe I shouldn't answer this because I don't want to give people the wrong idea. But it's like, you kind of talked about like not always feeling like you want to do YouTube. Do you ever? And like now we're doing this other event. Are you feeling forced at all into this, or are
I
you
think,
excited?
like, I think the only reasons I ever maybe hesitate from doing another relief is because I feel like I don't want to let people down and like
Right.
make the event turns out to be like lame or anything like that. So I think that's like the only reason like I ever like hesitate to it. But you know, I actually like I talked to like some of the relief members about it. Like one thing Zach told me, for instance, is that like, you know, any like dollar that we raise is going towards something good. You know, anything that we're doing in this event already makes it a success. So I think we raised like the last year's event was a little smaller than usual, and we raised like $300 still, and like
Yeah.
that's enough for like I don't know, a console or like, you know,
Yeah.
something of value. So it's like I think there's always this nudging pressure in my head to like live up to like what I was able to accomplish in the past, you know, still have to exceed that Science versus SpongeBob video from when I was in high school. But I think as you get older, you know, you realize that life is not like that. It's not like peak, like climb like to the very top when you die. Like it's ebbs and flows, you know, it ebbs and flows. And you know, there is going to be a peak in your life in terms of certain things. Like that was like my peak in success back then, maybe, but I think I'm experiencing my peak in happiness right now. So it's you know, some things are not going to last forever, but I think as long as the people around us want to do it and we have a good time and we're doing it for the right reasons, then I'm always gonna be open to relief, like no matter what.
Yeah.
So
And I think you kind of cultivated this community around yourself now that it's like you can rely on other people to do a lot of the work.
I
don't feel like it's
but I'm
all
not
on
good
you
at that.
this point. that's fair. But yeah. Like Chester, he's got a podcast studio.
yeah. Well, I mean,
He's a
Chester had some really
professional.
cool ideas. He brought up the other day.
I rely on him for all
We'll
of
get him
this.
done.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. And Sheriff is just amazing. Sheriff is the glue.
Oh no,
What a
Sheriff is
king.
great. I'm like, it's so cool to just have someone that passionate and that knowledgeable about something. But I'll be honest, when he starts talking about like frequencies and hertz, I tune out. I don't know what he's talking about.
That's Chester whenever I start talking about like the
My brain is not
intricate
meant for
behind the
that kind of
scenes
knowledge.
of Big Sky Interactive.
I feel like at some stage we need to do an episode where you can just talk about Kingdom Hearts and we can really just get it all out.
Yes.
And then we
Okay,
don't need
so
to talk
here's
about it
the
ever
thing.
again.
The Master of Master. No.
Then after that, I'll do a Persona episode and then we'll be good. We'll be done. Fantastic.
You know, the Taylor Swift video will come out one day, I think.
It should. Yeah.
It will,
rant,
I will loop her in some way.
The SpongeBob Taylor Swift crossover is what's happening next.
Who would win in a fight between SpongeBob and Taylor Swift?
Oh, they would not fight. SpongeBob would just kneel on his knees and just bow down to Taylor Swift.
Probably about right.
So yeah, get excited, guys. We're
Yeah.
doing it again.
Yeah.
Doing it again.
Fourth,
Well,
fifth time? How many times have we done this? Or you guys done this?
First time was 2020,
fourth
so I think this is...
Has it been annual or has there
Yeah,
been a
we've
gap
done it
year in there?
annually. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure. But I don't think we skipped a year. So this would be
Have
the
we?
sixth time then,
Sixth time? Really?
I think. Did we skip a year?
I
I'm
don't
trying to
think I've been involved in that. I feel like I've streamed twice and I've made 2 YouTube videos for it.
I was only ever involved in 2, and then there was 2 that I wanted to do, and then I didn't end up having the time, and then there was one that I was like, I'm just not doing it. So I
Yo,
remember
Mr.
fine.
Sheriff.
There might have been a year we skipped because we
Yeah, I
decided
don't
to wait till Cosmic Shade came out. I think that was one year
Right.
we did skip.
Didn't we do Relief 2, then we did Cosmic Relief
Yeah.
or something like yeah. Anyway, we're doing another
And
one.
then there
It's
was
very
Christmas
exciting.
Relief.
We'll be doing some announcements soon.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Mr. Hasbin and I will be involved. We'll
gonna
post
stream
everything
Fortnite.
on the community tab.
I literally was thinking,
Great.
like this morning. Well, this morning when I was taking a shower, I was like, I'm gonna play Fortnite for the no.
You gotta join my team.
I really had the thought.
I have
yeah.
so many skins to show off now. I just got the K-pop Demon Hunters
Okay.
like pack, and
Hey,
I also
hell
recently purchased Scooby-Doo and Shaggy.
I want it so bad. Don't play with me. I really want to play Fortnite with you now.
I actually
let's stream
I
Fortnite.
did like an off-the-cuff stream of Fortnite a few days ago. Like I just randomly
Did you?
decided to
I
stream
didn't catch
it.
that.
So I think I would start doing that. Just
We'll have to do that. I'll drop in. Get tilted at the towers.
you
Chester,
know,
you
I
gotta
got
get
so
involved.
excited when I like chose Scooby-Doo and like I was playing with a viewer and he brought over Scooby snacks for me. And
That was
I'm like,
wild that they added.
I
Scooby-Doo.
love my subscribers. I love my viewers.
Chester, did you know they added Scooby-Doo to Fortnite? Like the
I
dog
do
himself.
because on Facebook, for some reason, I follow Ali A, and so every single time I go onto Facebook, he has posted some news thing about whatever skin is in there. So I'm like, oh wow, Sabrina Carpenter is now in.
Oh my
wow.
God, my other
Doja
queen.
Cat's now in Fortnite. Oh wow, Scooby Doo's in Fortnite. I'm just like
Jason
this is good
Voorhees
knowledge.
and Scooby-Doo together at last.
Jason Derulo is in Fortnite. Very exciting.
When Sonic, SpongeBob, and Taylor Swift get into Fortnite, it's over for me. My channel will never
Why
be the
haven't
same.
they done Taylor Swift? That's weird.
I got excited when they had Lego. I was like, I could almost consider playing this game when they had the Lego ones.
It's so the mode doesn't make sense to me. I've tried it. I don't understand.
I
it.
never tried it before. No, I just never felt inspired to.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you, Riders, for coming along for this episode. It was an absolute
Yeah.
pleasure. Yeah. We should do
Hey,
this again soon.
let me get on my soapbox real quick. Please go watch Tron Ares. It's way better than it ever was.
Is that the movie that just came out, or?
Yes, I've been so fixated on Tron Ares because, like, I've become part of the Tron Ares Twitter community because nobody's talking about this movie except for a few Twitter accounts, and it's mostly getting dragged through the mud, saying it's a horrible movie, sucks butt, but I really enjoy it, especially in 3D on an IMAX screen. It's a good movie.
Very
Yes.
good. Thanks.